Do you know what time it is? It's PrimeTime, the official commissioner podcast of the Sim Madden League. Buckle up because it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be fire. Now, without further ado, here is SML legend PrimeTime 000.
Welcome to SML PrimeTime, and yes, I am PrimeTime. I'm fired up, I'm lit, and I'm ready to go for this playoff edition of SML PrimeTime. And I do this podcast every so often, so if you don't know what it's about, hey, look, I like taking shots. So there's a segment called Shots Fired, then a segment called Kiss and Make Up, where I make up to somebody. I got a bold predictions segment as well as a Prime's Rant segment, and where I'm going to kind of talk about defense and simness as a whole. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, topic number one, and hey, you know, I like to have fire and ice. Again, a shots fired topic followed by a kiss and make up topic. So shots fired. Hey, I'm coming in right at the Mad Bomber. Yes, the Mad Bomber himself. The SML's darling. The SML's golden child. Started off 9-0 with the Cleveland Browns, blowing the doors off the competition. Most of the games, they weren't even really close. Nick Chubb was running the ball well. Honestly, I think a lot of people were saying he might go 17-0 in season one, and just he was on another level. And then he started losing. I think over a 7-game stretch, he roughly went 3-4 with 4 losses. And then we started hearing him talk about how he wasn't having fun anymore. Hey, we weren't hearing that when he was 9-0. So you know, Bomber, it's you seem like you're having fun when you're winning. Were you not only having fun when you're losing? I mean, yeah, that's not right. You know. I'm going to start calling Mad Bomber Mad Favre. He's Brett Favre of the SML right now, you know. Is he in? Is he out? Is this New York? Is Bomber the New York Jets Brett Favre right now? Or is he the season 1 Minnesota Vikings Brett Favre? We're not sure. So yeah, that's just something to think about. That's a shot fired. Bop, bop, bop. Now let's move on now. Topic number 2. After that, just gruesome shot I just fired. Kiss and make up. And here's a guy I just want to kiss, I want to hug, and I really just want to make up to. And it's Matt. You know, Matt is a guy who I've had my chat tiffs with. You know, he ended the dynasty. He took the Colts, the prime Colts era, the storied history out. That was Matt, the scrub, the average mediocre Madden player Matt. Mediocre Matt. A misogynist Matt. He did it. And, you know what, Matt? I think you're a solid player. I think you remind me. I think we have a lot in common, actually. You're a good personality in chat. You're a techie guy. You've got a lot of strengths. Hey, you know what, Matt? I believe in you, and I believe you can return back to what you were last cycle in a formidable playoff opponent. Playoff Matt is better than regular season Matt. So that there you have it. So Matt, look, I respect you, believe it or not. I think you're a good guy, and I think you have potential, especially as that Steelers team develops, to be a force in that AFC North. You know, maybe I might get assassinated for that by some Matt haters, but I'm willing to put my neck out there and say, hey, you know what? I, PrimeTime 000, am a Matt supporter. So Matt, I'd like to kiss you and make up with you. Hey, all right, now let's move on now. This is a quick-hitting podcast. Again, we're not going to waste too much time on topics. Some people drag them out, 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute podcast. Hey, you know what? I'd like to get this done in under 10 minutes. Why not? Keep people interested. So, bold predictions, all right? I've got 2 for each conference. All right, so here's number 1. NYT, as long as he doesn't throw 6 interceptions, he's going to win a playoff game. NYT is going to take that Washington football team in a division that he seemed dead in a division that Dallas had pretty much wrapped up. NYT clawed his way back, won the division. He's got a home playoff game. I think he might be playing future in round 1, I think. either way, I think NYT is going to win one, at least one playoff game. So there you have it. Another NFC prediction, because I have 2 per conference. Pauly. He's never made a Super Bowl in his SML career until now. Coach Pauly is going to make a Super Bowl. He's gonna make it. He studies. He's got a solid team. He's a good player. He's got all the tools he needs to win season 1. He's got his guy Tom Brady. The only man that I'm a little worried about is QP. I think Pauly matches up fine against Dump and everybody else in that conference. But QP, with that very bad Lions team, that's going to be a force to be reckoned with, I think, in the NFC, especially as that team gets better. But hey, it's season 1. Pauly's a studier. I think Pauly makes a Super Bowl and gets to the SML's biggest stage. Moving on to the AFC, some bold predictions. Hey, you know what? I'm going to say this. Coop, he might have had a losing record this season, I believe 7-10. Doesn't matter. He's going to beat the Meats. Beat the Meats. Yeah, that's right. AFC South, everyone's throwing stones at them right now. AFC South will triumph and get a win over I Got the Meats in round 1 in the playoffs. Another bold prediction, Faz does not make the Super Bowl in season 1. Everyone riding the coattails of Faz after they jumped off the Bomber bandwagon. Look, I don't think that Faz is playing as good as he was early to mid-season. Faz does not make Super Bowl season 1. I know Clinky's going to be in my DMs. Clinky's going to be trying to kill me. I've got to say this, though. This is just the truth, as Paulie might say. Okay, so let's move on now to my final topic here, and it is the Prime Rant. The Prime Rant. And this is two segments here. Segment 1, I've seen in chat some guys say, hey, look, is SML as sim as it was, season cycle 1 or 2? And honestly, it's more sim. And here's why. I know we take a more calculated approach and what we want. Like, we want people to be more active in chat. And honestly, we couldn't ask people to be active in chat back then because they wouldn't post. And the guys that were quote-unquote OGs wouldn't schedule. But now they do, so we can ask people to be more active. But also, what you get with these active people is that they're also watching streams. So a lot more stuff is getting reported and taken care of behind the scenes than it was traditionally back in the old days. But my main segment I wanted to talk about was people say that defense sucks this year, and the defense is way over, just way underpowered compared to offense. But in a 17-game season, and this some games haven't been played, but right now it looks like we might have maybe one 5,000-yard passer in 17 games. Nobody broke the passing touchdown record. I think one guy had over 50 passing touchdowns. The running game, Mad Bomber, the only thing that was crazy stat-wise this year was Nick Chubb, almost 2,500 yards rushing with 32 touchdowns. Nobody else was really, even that Derrick Henry is up there, but nothing close at all, really. So defensively, not as bad as you would think. And I know passing defense, it was horrid to start the cycle, especially cover 2 looks, cover 2 shells where people would run streaks. And that was really the thing where if you were in an outside streak against cover 2, the safety would go inside and leave it wide open. That was patched weeks ago. So that's not even much of an issue anymore. Streaks are still there speed-wise, but they're not that big of an issue anymore. And I see, honestly, the pass game isn't any worse than the run game last year. Looking at the stats, interception totals, yard totals, not really. The passing game isn't as far off as it was last year, honestly. And the thing that's been dialed back is the run game, outside of Nick Chubb. But, people could spin, juke. They'd run inside, then bounce it outside, hit a spin cycle, hit a juke box, whatever they had, and they'd bust it for 80 yards. That's just the same as a streak. Or just the same as a rollout streak. It's all the same. The game it's just different. The more things change, the more they stay the same, according to John Bon Jovi anyway. So I think defense has been improved. It's just been slow, incremental improvements, and I think that people aren't noticing them maybe. When honestly, I think defense is going in the right direction. I wouldn't mind for defensive backs to be tweaked a little bit on the rollouts still, but even the rollouts, they fixed contains for the most part. Quarterbacks still get out, but contains have been fixed. And another thing people forget, again, at the start of the cycle, quarterbacks could roll out and always get the edge and gain like 10 yards before a linebacker would even tackle them. That's not the case anymore. People, their opinions are skewed on what the game was in August when the game has changed already in 2 months. The game is way different. And I think that just needs to be thought about first. Is it perfect? No. But when I compare the defense this game to defense last game, I honestly don't think it's any worse. Honestly, I would much rather try my luck on a guy who's going to throw the ball a little bit more than somebody who's going to run the ball and get 10 yards every time and spin and go 90 yards for a touchdown. I mean, the defense, honestly, I think defense is in a decent spot, really. Would I like there to be a little more consistent pressure? Yes. Would I like for when guys roll out defensive backs to have their head on their shoulders? Yes. Do I think defense is broken? No, I really don't. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, and I think that's overblown. And I think that people need to look at the patches, look at tape from back in August, and think, okay, look, this game has changed. I need to cut the complaint and just enjoy the game for what it is. I really don't think it's that bad. Guys, anyway, that's my piece. That's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, that is SML Prime Time. And hey, I'm Prime Time. You take it easy.